この秋もヒット作や話題の新作が並ぶブロードウェイで、知られざるアメリカの歴史をテーマにした異色のミュージカルが上演されています。今日はそのミュージカルにかける日系人俳優にスポットを当てます。
Well, it was about the Japanese internment of U.S. citizens. I think it's a story that's not very well known if you're not Japanese American.
It's a horrible stain on American history.
Koyama, we had family that were interned during the war.
アリージェンス、第二次世界大戦中の日系アメリカ人収容所がこのミュージカルの舞台です。1941年12月7日、日本軍によるハワイ真珠湾攻撃の後、アメリカ西海岸に住むおよそ12万人の日系アメリカ人は敵性外国人として内陸部にある収容所へ強制退去させられました。ミュージカルアリージェンスは収容所で過酷な数年間を過ごし、その後の人生に取り返しのつかない傷を負った日系アメリカ人のドラマを描いています。そして主演のみならず、アリージェンスをブロードウェイで上演するために奔走したのが日系人の俳優ジョージ・タケイさんです。アメリカのテレビ界不朽の名作スタートレックの初代キャストとして広く知られるタケイさんは、ライフワークとして日系人収容所の歴史を伝え続けてきました。実はこの作品は自身が幼い日々を過ごした収容所での体験がベースになっています。
So nice to see you.
You too. Thank you so much. 武井さんに今の思いを聞きました。
What part of the story is your actual experience? Tell me about your experience that's in the story.
Well, I was interned when I was a child, from age 5 to age 8.5, almost 9 years old. The duration of the war, 4 years. I remember one night waking up in the middle of the night and seeing my parents in the other side of the room hovering over a kerosene lamp, and my mother was crying. And I said, "Mommy, don't cry." And they came over and said, "No, it's all right. Go back to sleep." And I went back to sleep. When I became a teenager, I was very curious about those memories that I have. And so I had after-dinner discussions with my father. And he speculated that that must have been when they were discussing the loyalty questionnaire.
収容所の日系アメリカ人は、アメリカへの忠誠を誓い日本への忠説を否定するかという質問に答えることを要求されました。
And because they answered no, our family was transferred to another camp called Tule Lake in Northern California. That was a much harsher camp than even the one that we were in Arkansas.
幼い武井さんの記憶と両親の体験をもとに作られた物語は、ノーと答えた者、そして反対にイエスと答え、アメリカ軍の軍人として戦った者の狭間で家族やコミュニティが苦悩し引き裂かれていく様子を生々しく描いています。アメリカの負の歴史を浮き彫りにしたアリージェンスはパワフルなストーリーと評価を受けながらも、一方ではエンタメの要素が弱いという批判もありました。本来エンターテインメントであるべきブロードウェイミュージカルという形態を武井さんはなぜ選んだのでしょうか。
It was the nation being swept up by war hysteria and racial prejudice and the lack of political leadership, the failure of political leadership. How do we tell a political story and make it engaging and entertaining and enlightening all at the same time? What made it possible for Japanese Americans to survive that horrible experience is that Japanese word gaman, to endure with dignity.
Which comes up a lot in your play.
It's a spine running throughout the play. Gaman involves also the strength and the ability to find joy under harsh circumstances. I remember that, our barrack was right across from the mess hall. And about once a month, teenagers were allowed to have dances after dinner. Or obon,
Right.
Women who valued their kimonos so much. We could only take what we could carry. And so all the practical things that we needed were carried. But a kimono was considered an important part of the practical things.
So they had it.
Their identity. And at Obon time, this drab internment camp, prison camp, with barbed wire fences, suddenly became a colorful place with tankobushi playing and colorful kimonos swaying in the summer night air. So we thought it's got to be a musical.
我慢の中にも喜びを求め、愛を求めた日系アメリカ人の姿がミュージカルの舞台狭しと躍動します。その日系人収容所が今また注目を集めています。シリア難民を受け入れるか否かで論争が巻き起こる中、反対派がシリア難民は当時の日系人と同様に危険だと発言したため、忘れかけられていた歴史に新たなスポットが当たっているんです。
It's the same thing happening over again. And the story of the internment of Japanese Americans is still little known. I'm always surprised when people that I consider well-informed, educated people are shocked when I tell them I grew up in prison behind American barbed wire fences. People don't know this story. And how can you learn from history if you don't know your history? Because they look like terrorists, he's saying they're all potential terrorists. That's wrong. Because we happen to look Japanese and we were at war with Japan, we are the enemy. That's wrong. And so unless you know that story, you're going to make that mistake over and over again. That's why Allegiance is so timely, so relevant to our times right now.
I know a little bit about the war, World War II, but I didn't know the back end story.
Sadly, very poignant and very appropriate for current issues with Syrian refugees.
The message of unity and peace and equality.